My name is Amberly Sell, and I've been coming here for 5 years. The first consultation form, I remember I checked off almost every single box. I had tingling and numbness in my legs and my arms. I had headaches. I was tired all the time, all the things. I remember he looked at my form and he was like, yeah, I think we could probably help you with some of this stuff. I just remember telling him, I am too young to feel this old. Like, this can't be right. I had this episode of I couldn't talk. On the outside, I looked fine. I wasn't having a stroke or anything. My husband was like, I don't understand what's wrong. Like, I couldn't get up and make dinner. And my heart was just racing. And I was like, something is wrong. And I felt just trapped. We went to our regular doctor, went through all the hoops. I was referred to neurologists and all that stuff, thinking I probably had MS, did MRIs, and then I didn't have MS. So they just went through a list of blood tests and all kinds of things to see if they could figure out what was going on. And at the end, they basically were like, well, you're not dying and we don't know what's going on, so sorry. That's when I was like, I have to try something else. So I came in here. My first experience, it's funny because my husband says it looks like they didn't even do anything, but I could feel bones moving and shifting. I could feel immediately something is different. The little bit of dizziness or whatever was nothing compared to the symptoms I was having coming in. I didn't hold for very long at a time in the beginning. I know that's pretty normal, but that little bit of my body being like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be, was like, oh, that's great. So just keep coming back. I'm very thankful for Atlas and how they helped me through the healing process. They're just very helpful. They explained all the different symptoms I was feeling and why you might feel different things and why there's good days and bad days. And sometimes my body would hold my correction for a while, and that was awesome. And then sometimes it wouldn't. Just be patient. In the beginning, my grandma offered to pay for the first part of my treatment, and I didn't see results right away. And because of the investment, I think that we might have stopped. And so I was so thankful she had paid, because that meant we were going to keep coming. By the end of that phase, I think it's a few months, I did start to notice a difference. And so, especially if your symptoms are as extreme as mine were, you might not see life change right away. But very quickly after that, we saw so much improvement that we were willing to make that investment and build that into our budget. Like, this was worth it. It really was the doctors at Atlas who helped me put a word to all the things that were going on in my body. They were able to explain that it's called aphasia and there's different kinds of aphasia, and I didn't have the same kind every time. Like, sometimes I couldn't talk, but I could text. Other times I couldn't text. One time I couldn't read. Sometimes I'd feel like my brain was like going a million miles an hour, but I still couldn't say any of it, and just feeling dumb. I would go to the ER and make sure I wasn't having a stroke just to rule out anything else. It just came down to these episodes of aphasia that nobody talks about. My kids had like a whole system, like if mom's having a bad day, this is what we do. I had meals in the freezer for like, these are the days mom's out. My daughter would make dinner and my son would make my meals. I couldn't count on myself to be okay. I couldn't schedule certain things into our calendar because I wouldn't know if that was going to be a day that I could leave the house or talk to anybody. And so everything about how I scheduled our life for my whole family was, well, hopefully that'll be a good day, or we'll see when it gets closer. But now I'm able to go to work again. I'm able to serve my community, do things with my kids. I have quality of life now, and I didn't before. If you have tingling, if you have numbness, if you have aphasia, even if you have headaches all the time or crazy brain fog like I did, you don't have to live that way. And hopefully you come across this video and you know that Atlas or NUCCA's out there. I was even telling my aunt, like, you know, your chiropractor doesn't have to hurt. Like, it doesn't have to hurt like that. Here at Atlas, they actually like care. I'm not going to say the other doctor didn't care, but here you feel they care. And any questions I had, I didn't feel stupid. Even things that they're like, that's outside of our field, but let's point you to resources that would help. Even things that were just advised that weren't going to make them any money, they're just willing to like help in any way that they could. Everybody's so kind. When I call and like, hey, this is Amberly, we know, how's it going? When I had aphasia and I could hardly talk, you know, it's like, hey, I need to come in. Like, she knew from the front desk to the doctors, everything has been wonderful. Very thankful. I'm Amberly Sell, and I just want to say thank you, Atlas Brain and Spine, helping me to be a better mom and a better wife, better friend for all the people in my life. I really appreciate you.